So let's hop on here. So, anyways, Elias, I appreciate you hopping on here today.
Yes, sir.
This is just so everyone that watches this. This is our case study calls where we walk through basically pastor's experience with the Digital Tract Ministry. And answer a lot of questions. Does it work? Are
Mhm.
churches utilizing it? And so, before we even get started with your experience with it and everything, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your church and stuff?
Yes, sir. So my name is Elias DeVito, and I'm the youth pastor here at Luke Fada Baptist Church, and we are located in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. And I've been on staff now here more recently for about 3 months. And so when we came on staff, we were looking for new ideas on how to reach the community here. And so we had honestly seen a Facebook ad um,
Yeah.
for the
Hey,
digital tracks. And so that's how we came in contact with the GM Baptist Outreach and things like that. And so, but we have enjoyed it ever since.
perfect. Hey, what do y'all just give us a little idea? What do y'all averagely run and stuff at your church attendance wise?
Yes, sir. So on average, we have about 200 on a given Sunday, and we've seen an increase to that simply because of this digital track. And again, since we're kind of in a rural area where the just traditional door to door knocking, again, unless you're able to walk 10 miles, 5 miles to the next door, it's not going to really work. I mean, we'll make visits and such as that, but it's not like we have communities where we can just go door to door. And so this has been a great outreach for us.
Y Yeah. It's funny because we're in a rural area too, but,
Uh,
I tell pastors all the time, like, they'll say, "Yeah, well, we try and knock on 100 doors a week." I'm like, "100 doors a week? You try and knock on
yeah,
100 doors a week in our community, you're gonna be knocking on doors for 20 hours a week because you gotta drive to
exactly.
each door, you ain't walking just
Right,
knocking on
right.
doors."
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, you're running from dogs, you trying to get in gates, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, and we
Uh-huh.
believe in door knocking too. We go door knocking at our church every week, but you don't cover a lot of ground. I mean, it's a good weekday if we can cover 15 doors when we go out that night.
Exactly.
And so
Exactly.
rural areas, door knocking can be very limited. Anyhow, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about your experience with the Digital Track Ministry. Y'all's church has been utilizing it now. I know you said for maybe almost 2 months
Mhm.
now. Tell us a little bit about it. Y'all's experience with it, what y'all been seeing with it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we again went to the Digital Track University, and after that, began to make the videos and started with our pastor, just made simply 2 videos with him, and then reached out to a few different families, a few different individuals in our church, and began to make some different videos with them as well. And immediately after posting those videos online, it's like I literally had to mute my phone. It was just going off nonstop. And so
Yeah.
again, just and these were people that were interested. And so I know that first Sunday, I mean, we hit it off with 10 plus. And the reason I say plus is just because they had kids, and I didn't even get a chance to figure out who all came just as a
Yeah.
result of it. But again, it's been great after that. And then more recently, we just started a little bit of a Christmas uh, campaign, and so we began making videos for that, and we've already seen a lot of traction because of that, and we've done various events. At the end of October, we did an event, and so and again, I think our ad was only running for maybe 2 weeks at that point, and regardless, we saw a lot of visitors come as a result of that.
Perfect. As far as just all together, and I know some of them you didn't count. Well, how many do you think y'all have probably seen all together? And it's just an idea. I know some of them you can't track, and can't. It's hard
Yes,
to keep track of them sometimes, but for sure.
yes, sir. Yeah.
Um, Idea in your mind, how many do y'all think y'all probably seen total so far, visitor wise?
Yeah, so we've seen at least 45
Yeah.
that we have that filled out an actual visitor card after coming in the door, and they simply marked. We have a little box indicating Facebook, and that's what they marked. And so again, some of
Wow.
them I could go back and I could say, "Hey, you plan to visit? That's awesome." But honestly, the majority of them didn't even plan to visit. They just
Yeah.
came as a result of seeing the ad, and so that
Wow.
that too was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so yeah, man, 2 months. So that's great, man.
Yes.
Anytime you see stuff like that, it's awesome. Like, we have some churches, they'll be, like, tickled pink, and they'll have they'll run an ad for a month. They'll have 15 first-time visitors, for a
Wow.
month-long ad, and I'll
Wow.
be like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's awesome." But then
Yeah.
you hear, 2 months, you get 40-something visitors. I mean, you know,
Yes.
you just don't see that off door knocking and stuff. Like, I
Right.
I don't know if I've ever heard someone say, "Man, we door knocked all month, and we had 45
Mm.
first-time visitors from door knocking." I don't think I've ever heard
Right.
that in my
Right.
life. And so it's really, it is amazing. That's amazing what God's been doing with it. And so tell us your experience about the university. So you went through the Digital Track University. That's kind of like the coaching program we do where we train churches to do it. That's a
Mhm.
fairly newer program we've been doing. We've done it probably over a year now, almost a year and a half. Just this year, I think we've had like 140 churches go through it. So it's really amazing.
Mm.
But, one of the reasons we want to start doing some of these case study calls is because we want to kind of show churches and pastors that it is possible to set something like this up
Mhm.
on your own and to utilize it as a church, as a ministry in your church. So, like, as
Yes.
far as your experience, you went through the coaching program, went through the university. What are your thoughts on it? Like, do you feel like it was very simple, easy to do? Like, once you learned it, like, do you think like y'all had a good understanding of it when you went through the program?
Yes, sir. Yeah, honestly, for me, it was very easy. And so, as you were teaching and explaining it, and even giving examples, I was sitting on the other side, and I was building out the ad, figuring it out. So when it came time, once we got the video produced, I mean, it was as simple as drag, copy, paste, and we got that video
Yeah,
going and stuff like that. So, but I thought the university was well put. It was easy. I mean, I think I attended for 3 weeks, and and then we were able to take off from there. And so, again, I know there was some people were a little hesitant about it, simply because, for me and my generation, this is, I deal with social media every day, so
yeah,
hours upon hours, and so it was simple, but still, even for and my pastor will probably get mad, but for someone his age,
yeah.
and 50s on up, I was able to take the recordings, and we showed him and stuff. Got helped him download the app and stuff like that. But once we got past all those little things, he was able to take off with it, and so we tag team. On a given Monday, he'll go in there and tag people, or like I said, since I'm the youth pastor, I'm not always knowing all the visitors that showed up or things like that. But again, he'll kind of know that, so he'll tag people and stuff. But we kind of tag team on that. So again, even for him, watching the recordings was a big help for him.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, and you mentioning that, like, we have churches, like, we'll have some pastors that'll ask us, about letting their staff go through it, younger staff. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you have
Mhm.
someone that's younger, you could put over in a ministry and give them an opportunity to serve Jesus.
Yes.
Perfect opportunity. We have some pastors though, they don't have anybody that they feel like they could trust to be over it. And so,
Mm,
like, they'll be like in their late 50s, 60s. We
yes.
can have
Yes.
some guys like they'll come through early 70s, that want to do it. And they'll be
Wow.
like, I have a staff member, but I'm gonna go through it with them. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be like, that's fine." So, we've had pastors, like, I remember one guy in particular, he's probably like mid-60s or something. He was worried that he was
Mm,
gonna be able to figure it out because he didn't have anyone to do it. He's like, "But man, I wanna try it." And so, I told
right.
him, I was like, "Man, we try and teach it as simple as possible, and obviously you got us there to help you with any questions you have after you go through it. You
Hmm.
can message us
Hmm.
anytime you have issues with
Right.
anything, and we send videos. I get on phone calls with pastors, helping them with stuff all the time." So I told him, I was like, "Don't be stressed about it." So he went through the program. He had more questions than most people, because he's in his 60s and he's not
Of
used
course.
to a lot of the technology stuff. So he had a little bit more questions than most people. The first time he built his
Oh.
ad, he messaged us a lot with different questions about things he was doing just to
Mhm.
make sure he was doing it right. We looked over his stuff and I was like, yeah, there's a few things, here and there, change that, yada, yada. I think they had like maybe, I think it was over 15, maybe around 16, 17 first time visitors for their anniversary service.
Mm,
That first ad they he
wow.
texted me, man, he was super excited, and, they've been running ads since, and I don't ever hear from him. He does it all himself.
Yeah.
That first ad, it took a minute for him to get it figured out, but once
Yes.
he got it, he was good to go. And so, if someone watches this and you think you're too old to do it, I promise, like, we have people that are not tech savvy and they go through it, and you might have more
Exactly.
questions than most. Don't get overwhelmed, but, you can figure it out for sure 'cause,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
not rocket science. science. You know,
Yeah.
we kind of give you the step-by-step process. But if you have someone younger that's a little bit more tech savvy, then I do, you know, obviously we recommend, you know, if you have someone that can kind of focus on it, maybe is more used to it, then definitely, you know.
Yes. Yes.
Um, and we tell churches, like, even with the videos, like, when we give you all the video scripts, a lot of that different stuff, like, a lot of that stuff we give y'all is stuff that we know works, you know? Over
That's
time, you
right.
can branch out, try different little things, and, you know, changing things. But for the most part, if churches do it just the exact way we give you, like, to
Hmm.
record your videos and
Hmm.
everything, if you just do it the exact way, it's gonna, you know, it works, you know?
Right.
God
Right.
has to bless it, he has to give the increase, but, you know, we give you everything we know works, and, then you just gotta pray, you know, the fire down, pray the Lord touches it and uses it, you know? So,
Yes.
well, that's awesome. I appreciate you getting on here today. I know it was a
Of
shorter
course.
call,
Of
just
course.
kind of walking through your experience with it. As
Mhm.
far as like anything you want to add to it, any last words or
No, sir. Other than we have greatly enjoyed it, and so and also I did want to mention some of the other features that are there through the program and through the app and stuff. I know you briefly touched it through the university, but you know, we've been able to implement that into our social media, even like if you wanted to get in depth, and that's helped me understand building it out for like text to give and you know, different text oriented things. So we're doing a church directory, and so I put up on our displays just text the word directory and I'll send you a link to, you know,
yeah,
get signed up and stuff like that. So we've been able to implement a lot of that texting stuff to it. And then
perfect.
here soon we're or and also we've been using like the emails. We've been sending out emails for those visitors that come, and we got a nice I created another video with our pastor, and so that's just kind of, hey, we're thankful you came, you joined us, you know, you signed up, you planned your visit, you actually showed up, we're thankful
Yeah,
for that. And he just kind of encourages them. And then in the body of that letter, we're able to make it personal to them, and something they put on their visitor card, or you know, we can take their name straight from the contact and put it in there
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
The custom
So
values. So are y'all
but yeah,
building
so
those
we
in the email template builder?
correct. Yeah, so we
Perfect. Yeah,
I used one of yours that you had on there, one of the
yeah.
templates, and we kind of went off of that, and built out different emails. And here soon, starting this next year, I'm going to start a monthly newsletter for the church, and so we'll be using that, and things like that. So we actually may be getting in contact with you to up our numbers, so that way we can send out more
Oh, the
emails and
contact.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yes.
Perfect. Well, that's awesome. I love to hear you're utilizing the email templates and stuff. Yeah, because
Right.
I tell churches like it's very powerful. You know, when you're doing the monthly newsletters, even to all those who plan
Mhm.
visits in the past, just like you know,
Yes.
monthly text messages, I might not recommend because you might aggravate people if you text them too much. But emails is very less abrasive, and if you just send out like monthly
Exactly.
newsletters and stuff, you'll be surprised at what the Lord can do
Exactly.
with that for sure. So.
Right.
Perfect though, man. Well, that's awesome. I appreciate your time
Yes, sir.
today. And we're gonna be praying for y'all's church and ministry. And you know, obviously, if y'all need anything from us, just let us know.
Yes, sir. Well, we will. And again, we appreciate it. And thank you for your help. And again, if we can do anything, let us know. And I'll be sure to get on there and leave a Google review and things like that. So,
Yeah, do it, man. We enjoy it. Any testimonial is great. But all right, man. Well, you have a blessed rest of your day.
yes, sir. You as well. Thank you so much.
All right, bye bye.
Yes, sir.